if we're looking for deals, the first place I would go is connect with wholesalers at meetups and Facebook groups. Like, if you don't know what wholesalers are, their job is to go find, negotiate, underwrite, and get under contract distressed properties with enough meat on the bone for investors to make money flipping or selling. Like, they do all the hard work for you. So we're going to talk today about if we were forced to start over. If somebody came today, if President Biden came today and took all your properties and you had to start over, we're going to say what we would do, knowing what we know, but starting with 0 properties and $0. So we get our knowledge, but not, and experience, but not the money or equity we have.
I'd take that. Well, okay.
Well, wait, no.
Which one would you rather
just
take?
give it.
Don't say both. Would you take all of your assets with no knowledge or all of the knowledge with no assets?
Well, that, yes, but how about
you got to decide.
I said that, the second one.
Okay.
Why don't you just give me your half of everything and then you can actually do this if you said you'd like that?
Can actually do what?
Start from scratch. You said you said you'd like to do that.
No, I wouldn't.
He did not say yes. You said yes. You basically said you'd love to start over is what you basically said.
I think it would be a fun challenge.
Okay, well then let's do it
willingly. I've liked what we've built.
Let's do it. I'll take it. I'll give you.
But we might have to.
That's true. We might. I'll give you like 10 grand and you just give me all of it.
That's a fair trade.
Yeah. And then, but you get to start over. And I bet if you document it, you would get so many followers. You would have like hundreds of thousands of followers.
That'd be worth it.
But like I sold $25 million worth of real estate to my partner for 10 grand.
11,000 followers.
Because I wanted to start over.
Trade.
Because I wanted to start over.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through a little bit strategical here, what relationships to build and what to go after first and all those things. And we, by the way, in case you didn't know, we go live on Instagram before every podcast to kind of just shoot a little bit, to talk a little bit about what we're going to go over in the podcast. So make sure you're following Sam Faster Freedom, Lucas Faster Freedom on Instagram to get like kind of a prequel of what's going on upcoming podcast episode. And the other thing was, we are going to lean on some things that we did. I feel like we did about 70% right and about 30% that we would probably change. So we did a lot of really good things and we screwed up a ton, of course. And I feel like we're screwing up more the past like year than we did the previously. So it's kind of cyclical. But anyways, we are going to say some things that we would have repeated and then some new things. So I wanted to put that out there.
And I think we wouldn't have the knowledge we do today without those screw ups.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Or the successes as well. We know what works. We know what don't work.
Don't buy $25 million in assets in 15 months if you don't know if it cash flows or not.
Right. Or don't have a management company to manage them.
Correct.
Yes. Or buy one management company, then sell it, then buy another one, and then merge them, and then sell that one, and then go back to the other
So
one.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the side of understanding the market by being able to have access to all that data that's all, in the system and everything, the word we can't think of. But the other side of it is, I think, something you do once a month that I think is huge, helping you understand the market. And you don't get access to that data, I don't think, unless you're an agent, right? So talk a little bit about that.
Market Stats is part of our local MLS here. There's key metrics that we look at. Months of inventory, average days on market, percent of list price.
What Lucas does is we track it month over month. We track interest rate weekly, but then each month we're able to see days on market, average list price, inventory versus last year, looking at, prices versus last year. So you can just get a feel for what the market's doing. And you obviously see bigger fluctuations, usually more inventory in spring and summer, less inventory in fall and winter, which directly affects the prices. So you're able to see demand and supply and get a better feel for your market. So not only are you able to get direct access to properties so you can buy better, you're also going to learn the market better by being an agent. And I got to do a plug here because we're getting ready to go deep into this. We have a real estate team that we partnered with, that we started, that anybody in the country who is a real estate agent or wants to become one can join our team. There's you get access to a ton of different things, trainings, and you can make a lot of money. There's profit share options. If you want to be an agent and you want to be do it the Faster Freedom way with our connections of the top agents in the country, I literally had a call with the CEO of EXP last week, the freaking CEO of a publicly traded company, probably makes several $1 million a year, I would guess. I had a call with him, him, and one other person on a Zoom. So if you want to get plugged into the Faster Freedom EXP, where you can make more money, be a better investor, and potentially get some profit share down the line that you can hand down to your kids, DM me on Instagram, or just, I'll give you my email, sam@fasterfreedom. Shoot me an email if you want to be part of that, because I think it's a huge opportunity. And you're going to be part of it here soon too.
We're not excellent at super high dollar luxury flips or rentals.
Nope.
We're good at the median price point, and that's a big important metric for you to look at in your market. What is that median price point? Your flips could be at some over is fine for your fix and flips, but for your rentals, you probably want to stay at or under that for your local market to be able to get a BRRRR deal to work.
So that first time high price point market. And some people might want it different. I'm just saying his example because we've talked about him. Dean, he's been a guest on the podcast, our CFO. He's upstairs right now. He does high end stuff. He loves it. He does a couple a year, usually does very well on them. He has a rental coach house that he's got $500,000 in, and it rents for like $5,200 a month, and it cash flows. But that's not, we don't like that market. We're not good at it.
Yeah.
That's not our jam, and that's fine. So you just got to find, he enjoys like the process and making things incredibly nice and spending extra money on stuff you don't have to, that people may or may not notice.
Yes.
So if that's you, then you can still do
For
that
sure.
though. In Chicago.
It took us 10 years to figure out our buy box.
Yes.
Right. But knowing what we know now, we know our buy box, and I would go hard at it.
So our buy box, let me see if we have the same one for rentals. Anywhere generally within half an hour, 40 minutes of our office, preferably something like built in the 1960s or later, preferably something like under 2,000 square feet, 1,000 to 2,000 square feet, preferably 3-bed, at least 1 bath. I would take a 2-1 maybe, and then something that needs like 40 grand or less.
Yeah, 40 grand or less.
And I'm sure the numbers are slightly different.
And worth about, let's say,
150 to 200
to probably a little more. Yeah, probably 250.
With what's recently happened, 150 to 250, and there's a lot. And Lucas and I started with, and this is a little pro tip. Lucas and I always tell people there's 2 ways to screw up, and I did them both when I started because I feel like I was initially kind of tasked with going to find deals and talk with people. I think we both did it, but I felt like I focused on it a little bit more potentially. At first, I told everybody we'll buy anything in any condition, any area of town. And 2 things happened. 1, nobody remembered that. 2, they sent me their stuff that they already shopped to people that like, he says we'll buy anything, so I'll just send this $80,000 house that is sell for 20 grand that needs 60 grand to rehab. So getting a little bit particular and coming up with your avatar is something we really help our students with at first. It doesn't have to be as detailed as Lucas and I said, but if you say, I'm looking to build a rental portfolio and do flips, I would like a house that needs, 20 to 75 grand, that's worth 300 or less, and I can close in 2 weeks. Like, you'll start to get stuff sent your way. What you put out there was what you'll get back. So anyways, that's a
love it. It's super powerful, and it'll help you know what part of town that you want to buy in, because there's parts of town where there's stuff worth way over 300, and there's parts of town that stuff's worth under 150. So those are the parts of towns that we don't stay in, and we're kind of drawn towards the geographical areas that fit our buy box. So that helps a lot.
Funding or deals?
Funding, then deals.
I think we could do both.
I think you could.
I know, but I just want to get that out there. I don't think you don't not look for deals until you have funding, in my opinion. I think having funding, you'll get more deals. But if you don't have funding lined up and you come across a deal, maybe not from a wholesaler, but from another source, you could potentially still wholesale because you don't need money to wholesale. So you're going to be better if you have the money. I agree.
That's a great point. Not as important if you're going to focus on wholesaling, getting that active income up. So that's good.
So what we've recapped right now is we're starting over from scratch. We know what we know. We don't have any connections, any deals.
We're in a different market.
We're in a different market. So we're going to find money and deals is what we're going to search in that order, but both at the same time. Find private lenders through our connections. Go to local meetups to find contractors and lawyers and insurance agents and title companies that people we're going to use. We're going to build those relationships from day one. We're going to go to all the meetups. We're going to try to raise money from our friends and family network. We're going to find hard money lenders, and then we're going to look for deals via wholesalers, agents, and some direct mail. That's what we're doing to get the ball rolling. We do that. We go hard. We go into, let's say, Louisville, Kentucky. We spend 90 days down there.
Louisville.
How far do you think we could get? We can't because we have families. That'd be so fun to get dropped off there and try to figure it out.
That would be fun. I think we could do well. I think we could buy 5 houses in 90 days.
I think we could too. I really do. And probably a wholesaler 2 in there, and then a flip, and then probably rental 2. Yeah, I think.
So on the rental side, we've talked about this back in the day. I think it's the government allows you to have 10 loans in your personal name.
Yeah, Fannie Mae, Freddie, backed by the government. So technically through that, I think the government allows it. Yes.
So that could be 10 for you, 10 for your spouse, 10 for your
business partner,
10 for, we could. But we didn't know that when we first got started, and there's some nuances around that. Would you do our first 20, let's say, in our individual name, or would you go straight to a local bank and a commercial loan in your LLC for a refinance on a rental?
Right now, I would probably do it in our personal names, but also, Lucas, we didn't do it. So this is what we don't have experience in, but I'm fairly certain it's in your personal name. So DTI, your credit, everything is dinged. So I don't know that we could realistically scale where we wanted to scale and each add 5 in our personal names in a year. And with the income and everything. So that would be a little bit difficult. But if you have a W-2 job and you're responsible, Lucas, right now on a $200,000 loan, if I'm getting a 25-year mortgage at 8%, that's a 8.5%.
Yeah.
What's your payment ish, or is that? So the point is, if you take that exact same $200,000 loan over 30 years
Yep.
at 6.75%
Yep.
fixed, it's going to be a few $100
Yeah.
less. So you could potentially go
benefit.
from, that's why you would do it, because
Yeah.
you could potentially go from negatively cash flowing $100 to positively cash flowing $300, all because you went with long-term fixed financing in your personal name, but the government only allows 10 of those in each name.
Yeah, and when we first got started, we didn't know that, so we went to local banks, got the 25-year AM at
20-year was our first one.
at prime. We pretty much get prime, whatever the Wall Street Journal prime is. That's what we're getting from our local.
6.5 was our first one, I think, or 6.25. Six. Okay.
Yep, 6 at over 20 years.
And it worked. It
And it
cash
worked,
flowed. It would
yeah.
not cash flow right now, I don't think.
So terms is why you would do it in your personal name. There's some fancy footwork with quick claiming into an LLC afterwards that could cause some issues, but really hasn't.
And doesn't really for most people.
And at the time, national lenders, DSCR lenders weren't really a thing, but there's a lot of good 30-year options out there for investment properties right
So
now.
is that saying what you would do? What would you do? Was that your zinger, by the way?
Yeah, that was a zinger.
Okay.
But the good thing about the personal name one is you can go up to 80% loan to value. With DSCR lenders, they're at like 70, 75
Really?
maybe. So
Would they do 80 for us or no?
No.
They're not even
No.
for us right now?
No, none of them.
That
Not
makes
even.
a big difference.
It does. So it helped us get a lot more deals when we could go 80% with a local bank, or if you're going with the personal name loan. So you can get the terms that you want with a DSCR lender these days, similar to a personal name loan, but you're not going to get the loan to value that you probably need to execute that BRRRR deal.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, comment with something you learned, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. We give away more free advice on how to create wealth based on things we actually do every single day than any other channel on YouTube. Make sure to share this with a friend, because our mission is to inspire you to think differently about freedom.